What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome once again to the Black and Red All Over podcast. Most irreverent, reverent. I don't know what anymore. I give up. I don't know what this show is anymore. Hey, welcome. We're gonna get started here. What's up, guys?
How are you, Enosh?
What's up? I'm doing well. Hold on a second here.
I don't know how, because you've been dealing with me for the last 3 hours now.
Right.
All week.
That's what I'm saying.
Not an easy thing to do under certain circumstances.
Okay.
Mr. Demps, you love me.
I love you too.
Yeah, I love you too. All right. So welcome, everybody, to the show. My name is Enosh, along with...
Amarion.
Michael.
And Napoleon.
Yeah, and so this is just a show, about nothing and stuff
everything.
and everything.
At the same time.
Whatever.
Just trying to get that Red Bull sponsorship.
And
Episode
Sprite.
3, while you're drinking a Monster.
all right.
Do you know my friend James worked for Red Bull, and apparently if you drink a Monster, it is cause for termination.
I think it's the same for if you work Monster drinking a Red Bull as well.
So you said your friend is what's his name again?
His name is James.
Okay, James.
Yes.
This is a call out for help. My brother loves blueberry Red Bulls. Let's see. If it can
Hey.
happen.
Hey, now
I need some too. Come on.
You know.
make it happen. Make it happen.
All right.
All right. So we're gonna try to do some fun stuff.
Yep.
Along with doing some serious stuff. So we actually have a topic tonight.
Yes.
What are we talking about tonight,
Well,
Mike?
first of all, you know what's funny, Enosh?
Yeah, your face. But you know what's funnier? Your mom's face. No. I'm sorry, Micah's mom. I'm sorry. I was just caught up in the
She's
moment.
going to be watching
No,
this
no,
later
he's not.
like,
It's caught
what
up
do you
in the
guys talk
moment.
about on that show?
Yep.
My dad's going to be sitting there just so disapproved like,
Well, then he don't want to know what we were talking about before the show started, I guess. Jeez.
Or later.
so
Mr. Demps was worried about lightning bolts coming down.
I'm like, oh,
Just
Lord,
saying.
no.
Know what your
Lord,
son's
no.
been saying?
we can go from serious to goofy to, we don't need to cover it. But anyway, you know what's funny is we just said we love each other because we homies, we
Yeah.
know each other, but we're
saying,
also
yeah.
cool.
For sure.
But
We're cool
Enosh-
like that. We're cool like that.
Enosh.
We're cool like that.
We cool.
We're cool like that.
For
We're
sure.
cool like that.
Enosh,
Mike is confused. He don't know what that is.
Me and Deb, we're going to be on a lot of that stuff during the
Whoa,
show.
wait, wait. I know
For
about
those
that.
of you who don't know what the premise of this show is, it's black and white and red all over because we got black people, we got white people, but also
Yeah.
me and Demps are holding down the older,
Old school generation.
yeah, like
Yeah.
not old, but we're
Not old,
the
not
older.
elderly, but
Own it.
old school.
Exactly,
own
not
it.
You know
elderly.
what
I
I'm
like
saying?
that. I like
There
that.
we
Not
go.
elderly, but yeah.
Yeah, old
And
school.
and so we're gonna have all kinds of references,
Yes,
man.
sir.
I
that
could
they
pick
are
up
not
some
even
of it.
big on
They
that.
just gonna be cool like that.
Yeah, I'm
we out?
cool like that. Yeah, we're cool like what?
like we gotta do it right. Like cool like what, dude?
Cool like what, dude?
What, bro?
Like, bro.
I don't even remember what we were talking about.
I don't either. Well, you were saying something
hold on.
about how we were
You-
cool like that, and then we were like, da 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 da. Cool like that. I'm cool like that. I'm cool like that. I'm cool like that.
I'm fly like that. He white like that.
I actually know about this one, surprisingly.
Oh man.
Movies help
All
me
right.
out.
So what now?
So Enosh,
Yes,
earlier you were telling us
I was.
and texting us
I was.
how
Okay.
if you were a female,
Yes.
you would
Would I
do
date
yourself.
myself? I would. Based on the photos that I've seen, I can just go
Snapchat
by the
filter.
photos that I've seen. Okay?
I mean, yeah, they're pretty good.
I don't want to get all Buffalo Bill here. Like,
Right.
right.
So
like,
what's the
He
photo
like,
in
well, they're like
question?
Buffalo Bill? What?
Yeah,
Silence of the
what?
Lambs? What?
What's the photo in question? Do you have it?
Oh yeah, okay. So I got the photos in question. Yes, and I'm gonna bring them up now. So for those of you listening, or for those of you watching, you're gonna get to see the photos. If you're just listening to the podcast, you might want to check out the video version of the podcast, which is on Poindexter Lounge, which is my my YouTube channel. Real easy to find, Poindexter Lounge. But also, people are going to be listening to the podcast because it will be on there. So you may not get to see this, so you just hear the hilarity. But it is there. Okay. So first of all, I'm not the first one though. I'm not the first one. The first one's Amarian.
Okay.
Okay. So the question is, Amarian. And you guys can't see the computer from over there, so I'm gonna show you Amarian's picture.
If yourself was a female,
Oh my goodness.
So
Would
if
you
you
date
if you
yourself?
encountered Amarian,
Oh my goodness.
which is kind of scary because Micah might be into this. I'm gonna be honest.
We don't know.
We don't know. That's the point. We're asking the question.
Well, to be honest with you, when he saw it
What-
earlier,
what's
he
the segment? We're gonna name the segment like, would you?
rate yourself.
Would you or would you not?
rate yourself. I rate myself a 9.
Little conceited much?
I do myself.
Oh my goodness.
Well,
He's just horny.
I'm taking
only,
me on
only after marriage, I hope.
Yep, after marriage,
He'd
take me on a
marry
nice
himself.
date
He
first.
would marry
Have a
himself.
beautiful.
Now,
soul.
Oh wait, okay.
then
not,
there's
not
this
that
little
picture.
side profile right here. Like look at that side
You sure
profile.
that's not Dems?
I dropped
No.
to
No, that ain't Dems.
It's
That
not.
I dropped down to a 6.
You dropped Dems down to a 6.
No,
he
me.
Himself.
Oh man.
Himself.
You know what? I gotta say, you got great complexion.
I'm a total 10.
You
Let's
do.
go Candace and find out.
You've got great complexion on that. Look at his complexion.
The makeup took a little bit, but it looks good,
That's what I'm saying. It doesn't look too caked on, you know.
like Micah's.
And look at them lips. Look at them full.
We haven't
lips.
seen mine yet.
Look at them full lips. No, because we've seen yours, and we don't want to see yours anymore.
I don't. No, I don't.
It's
but then
scary.
again, I think we've also acknowledged I'm definitely not the most attractive on here. So
No.
Commentary.
It's
with
likely
this,
that my-
I don't really know how to go about the commentary.
Dems,
if
just say
you
I'm
were
cute.
single,
Just
would
say
you
I'm
smash
cute.
or pass?
No.
Just say I'm cute.
Knowing what I know.
Rate me 1 through 10.
But this is for the homies.
Get a little closer.
We
Get a little
keeping
closer.
it-
Don't be shy.
This for the homies, man. We keeping this in the pocket.
Yeah.
Hey, if that's a female, that's a female. I have nothing to say. No comment, dog.
Rate me 1 through 10. How good do I look? 1 through 10.
Hey man, I can't rate it. Let's just say you're an incredible individual.
Oh,
I think
thank
that's
you.
his way
Thank
of
you so
saying
much.
yes, but he can't say it because he's married.
Okay. I feel like Demps is the quietest here, so I might have to turn Demps up. So if I have to get up, I'll get up.
Okay.
But
All right.
but what would you rate Amarian based on the two pictures that we've shown of Amarian?
You know, visually, I can't. I just it's just
Just
in
a
my
number.
hard drive.
Just a
I
number.
could just say personality wise.
There ain't no personality there.
10.
There ain't no personality there. You can't tell nothing about
that
this
picture
woman.
shows personality. It's personality there. I see it.
What's it say? I'm ratchet.
What about that one?
That's scary.
It's kind of funny how
Like,
we're sitting
because
here
it's-
like just totally
because it's like,
sexualizing a whole person.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean,
Dude,
it's-
just pick a number.
Is it funny?
okay.
Or is it actually sad?
10, I guess.
You're gonna give him a 10 based on that.
Yes, queen.
You like the whole.
You're based on the little finger pointing thing
I guess so.
and his little pink lips. All right, so you're giving him a 10.
A 10 for whatever that is. Yep.
Okay.
For whatever I am.
While you're doing that, Micah, I'm gonna go turn Demps up a little bit here.
Okay.
But what do you give Amarian?
Sticking strictly with numbers. I give my boy.
letters? What?
Oh, I give my boy. Sticking with personality, total 10. Demps, I think you had that right.
Oh,
okay.
Visually, I gotta say, not very attracted. I'm
oh,
sorry.
okay.
I'm just being honest.
Look, man.
You know,
Listen, I'm gonna tell you.
nothing against being homosexual. I just
Wait until we see yours.
I'm gonna tell you something about Micah. It's gotta be a butterscotch tone, man.
It do.
So,
It gotta be
true.
little caramel
Yeah, caramel. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
all upon.
That's what he likes.
I don't got the hazel eyes neither.
Man.
My bad.
So what are you giving it?
6.
I give it a 6.
He gave him a 6. All right.
It's all right. I don't want you anyway.
Oh my goodness.
I'm glad.
Oh my goodness. Where is this going?
I'm glad that we settled that. He's offended that I didn't want to be with his
All right.
female self that doesn't even exist.
So I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna keep it real, Marion. Like, okay, so if
I'm gonna keep it a buck.
if I'm talking this one, this one's a little hit.
What does hit even mean?
Bad, dude. Bad.
Okay.
It ain't good.
Real
Terrible.
bad.
Terrible.
Hit his beat like horrible.
So
It's because my hair's not done, is it?
can you eat that microphone? I got one guy over here who like I can barely hear. I got you over here. You got that microphone.
I'm trying not to go over.
Good Lord in heaven.
Okay. All right. So
All right. Don't
tone need to be
just,
louder, I
just
guess.
back off a little bit, please.
Look, I'm here.
okay.
But you're too. But then you're getting loud.
So
You're
what
getting
you're saying is
loud.
my volume's high.
Is my tone good right now?
You're
Speaking
perfect.
this way?
You're
All right.
perfect. You're
All right.
perfect.
So this tone right
see
here.
that red? When that's red? See when that's red? That's you.
All good.
So this tone right here.
Yeah, you're too loud.
So this tone right here.
Hang
No,
on
you're too
camera.
loud. You, back off the mic a little bit.
I was-
Move the mic forward a little bit. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen, that we have to do this live.
That's all like from that. I went to school.
Look, because he starts laughing and it turns it's all red.
Because they-
It's all
they-
distorted. People at home are listening.
He can't help it, man.
I know.
He's like-
Okay. All right.
And
So,
Saggy's sitting there like, I can hear him just fine.
now
man.
look. Whoops.
Did you
Whoops.
bring
Oh, I
Saggy
gave him a
up?
little preview. I didn't mean to give a preview. Okay.
Could we have the banner going across the bottom of the screen real quick?
For what?
No.
I gotta make one.
The Omarion will. Never
Oh,
mind.
is that still in here? That you know
It
what
should
that
be.
banner
I
that
hope it
banner
is.
may be in there. Hold on.
I hope it's
It should
there.
be.
Forget the
Did I keep-
banner.
do I still have a Marion's banner? I don't know if I still have a Marion's banner.
I was thinking, at least for the live shows,
Yeah.
there's no way that we're
Disclaimer:
not
if you
gonna-
are female, a
Yes.
Marion will on you.
Not fair.
Does not play.
Well, maybe
some
you
point.
shouldn't be hitting on every single
Okay.
female out there.
Probably.
Tell them to stop looking so
Okay.
cute.
So
Equal
I'm gonna say
opportunity
this. I'm gonna say this.
voter.
Based upon this,
Mm-hmm.
this is very 80s. It's very 80s looking. Okay. Um,
And you were around then, so you
and
would
I
know.
was around then. Yes. So
I was
I
too.
will say, you know, what, I'd give you a 7.
Okay.
That's generous,
I give
but
you
we'll
7.
take it.
I give you a
That's
7.
nostalgia. Okay.
Marion, what do you give yourself realistically?
Yeah.
Like that's a real woman right there.
Yeah.
Not you with a weave.
Mario, I got a sew in. All right.
I give myself an 8.
An 8.
An 8.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
That's
all right.
beautiful, man.
So much for being our worst critic.
Go to voice. How about it?
I'm a realist.
All right. So next we got Micah here. and-
Oh man.
Oh man, can I start?
dear
Can
God.
I start?
Oh dog.
so this is the picture that's up, Micah.
That's the picture that's up.
That's
So just
I
be
got 2
honest,
words.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
would
I got-
never touch.
I got 2 words.
Yes.
her.
Bruce Jenner.
Yes. Not in a negative way. Just
Just that's the way. That's the vibe I'm getting right.
You know
I
what?
agree.
You know what? I can see that.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Yep.
Purely. Yes.
Yep.
what would
Bruce
hold
Jenner
on? What would my
after
female
a
be?
very excited day.
What would my female name be? Michelle? Let's call her Michelle.
Oh, what would your female name be, Marianne?
Essie.
Marianne.
You look all old school with that Essie. That's Essie.
So with Michelle,
Mm-hmm.
I would never touch Michelle. I would never attain her.
Nobody would touch me.
Ugly. Somebody would. Somebody would.
Not us.
Okay, think about this. There's literally been men for all of humanity that have
That's true.
paid women for sex. If that woman came up offering herself for free, every
It takes him to break it down like that.
For free. For free.
think about, I mean, it would have to be free for somebody to take that. At least for me,
With the forehead.
I
you
would
just went
never
out.
touch.
Okay,
that's
I'm
a
a
five
little-
head. That ain't no forehead.
I'm a
Let's be
little
real.
confused, though. Okay, if this is yourself you're looking at, what does that mean? How do you feel?
That
about
means I'm an
yourself?
ugly mug, and I can understand why I've been on one whole date in the last 2.5 years.
No.
But I'm okay with it.
Okay. All right.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Hey, it is what it is. What,
That's
what,
ugly.
What do you rate him there? A 3.
Because
he's like,
I mean, like
is 3 too rough?
this whole concept, even though we're thinking, you know,
That we totally threw
out of the
together,
box,
like, yeah.
This whole concept is a little different for a brother, but like, I guess you would say 3, and it's because if I'm looking at it from a female standpoint, the muscular facial structure is throwing me off. It kind of reminds you of Ignacio, do you remember in the 1980s they had the Muscle and Fitness magazines?
Yes.
So you remember they had the ladies posing.
Oh yeah.
It
And they all
looks
were more jacked than
like
me.
He did some facial exercises or something. He's just,
See, you know what I
Yeah.
said about him earlier when I saw this earlier was that he looks like a woman who had some facial work done.
Yes.
Yes.
Needs a lot of
Okay.
other work done too.
Not an ugly man as my brother, but
Yeah.
as far as a sister, nah.
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah. All right, Amarian, what do you give him?
I can't believe I'm doing commentary on this. I can't believe this. I can't. Yeah, okay, go ahead, Omarion.
All right.
Omarion,
We'll make
think
sure to
like
put it
you.
on the internet where it's forever.
My,
Forever
Gangsta
there.
Demps is never coming back.
So long after your children are dead.
Okay.
School gonna be like BMFD.
I was like, what was you doing, Mr. That was his
was commenting on Snapchat shotties.
All right. What do you give Micah there?
I give Michelle
Michelle.
Michelle.
a 3.
The 3.
Okay. Why do you give Michelle a 3? Look, man, he gonna go home and cry his eyes out.
They don't like me as a woman.
This is an ugly woman.
They don't like me as a woman.
That forehead is not for me.
5 head.
Oh my bad. 5 head.
So it's
That
weird because
forehead is bigger and brighter than my future.
It's weird because like as a guy, your face doesn't seem that elongated, but in this picture, your face just seems really elongated.
well, I
warped.
think what happened in that picture is you took the picture as I was literally in the middle of a laugh, and so I'm sitting there and it's just like, okay,
yeah, but
you know.
see, right now I'm
Don't
looking,
you have a different angle?
I
yeah,
know.
well,
Yeah,
see,
you got a whole
right
nother
now,
picture,
right
bro.
now we're looking at that picture.
Oh,
I'm you with
that's
the
not
tongue
the
out.
picture
Face-
I was looking at.
It's
Is
like
that
Mi-
risque?
it's like Micah walks into a bar and the bartender says, "Why the long face?"
And
My-
he's like, give me a double whatever on the rocks.
My friend said I'm a
I'll be
3.
my
I need
face.
3 shots of your strongest.
I'm gonna need something strong if that's coming home with me tonight.
Ain't nothing sensitive about that, dog.
All right, so I'm gonna give Michelle a 2. It's just not. It's just not.
Hold on,
I'm
when you
not-
combine, when you add it all up, it's a 10.
Low
So
blow.
take
No, it's actually a 6, 7, 8.
Hold on,
What do you give yourself?
2. Wait, hold on.
What'd
What
you
did
give
I say?
yourself?
Didn't
Man,
I say?
why you asking me
I said a
questions? It's
2.
gonna take 2 hours.
You
I
said
know, we
3.
gotta
You
get
said
through
2.
this.
That's 5.
We're already 17 minutes into the
He's-
show.
Come on, man. Go ahead.
Okay.
What about the personality?
Okay.
Enoch and
All right,
Demps,
now
you guys
here's
are left.
Demps.
Oh man. Oh man. Oh,
You know what? Look, I don't hate it.
okay.
I gotta say,
Looks the best like the best one.
you got a very beautiful smile.
Oh my god.
Very beautiful.
Like, thank you. I think. All
look,
right.
look, so that's the picture we're looking at right now.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So
6.5.
Oh. I don't like how quick he said it.
honestly,
It's
you might
better
be-
than-
you might be the most beautiful of all of us.
We got a high five to that.
High five.
You know, I'm just saying, you got beautiful hair. You got nice cheekbones.
Well, the only thing with the hair is like,
beautiful eyes. Look at these eyes.
Demps, correct
Look
me
at
if I'm
those
wrong.
eyes. It's beautiful.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's white girl hair.
It is, bro.
That's the only thing that's off
Oh, it's
about
so in the hood. But see, look, I'm gonna say this, but people always ask me, like, like women ask me, you arch your eyebrows? I said, no, they naturally grow like that. When I'm sitting there arching my eyebrows, but no, man, it's just.
But see how the AI did you good though with your eyebrows though,
Yeah.
because like
Mhm.
look at
Yeah.
you look good. You look pretty good. Michael, what do you give? Dems?
6.5.
6.5.
Hold on.
Yes.
What does your wife think about your eyebrows?
Bro.
She dig them?
She thinks everything all good, bro.
We need to know what Dem's wife thinks of this picture.
Can we text?
Because my wife already saw the picture of me
And
and she said hot.
Well, I know
Can
what my wife probably would say.
can we send it to her right now?
She probably like, she's real sarcastic.
Like, what are you doing?
Okay, Demps. I don't know if I really want to call you hot as a woman. I don't know what that equals up to, but like she probably has something crazy to say about that. My wife crazy, man. She real funny. But
Okay.
yeah, okay.
All right. What about you, Marianne? What you just texted his wife?
Hey, man.
First of all, why you guys' wife's number?
Probably texted.
I did not. I did not.
Come on.
What? Oh no! Hey, I'm staying out of it. I'm staying out of it.
All right. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
My brother, 8.5.
Okay.
Dang.
I gotta give him. You know what? I'd give it. Yeah, I'd give it a 7.5.
Hold on. I don't understand how you give yourself a 9. You give that an 8.5.
But see,
why.
look, but
I don't.
see,
I
yeah,
don't get that.
That's why.
yeah. Look, okay. See, then the pointer picture, where it's like, hey, hey, there it is. There it is. Look at Omarion and behind him.
He's sitting in the background like,
The
what's
boy
It's like
up?
with sad eyes,
this is
like-
Dempsey's victims behind him right there in the picture.
Look, Charlie like,
Hey, me and Elijah are back there on that wall too.
oh heck no. I don't know what that kind of message that says.
What do you give yourself?
Man, you know what? In general, I think I'm a pretty handsome fella, man. So I just give myself
Yes, sir.
an 8. You know what I'm saying? As a man, like it's enhanced. So you know,
8.5,
8.5,
8.5.
bro.
All right,
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah.
Now, this is one of mine. I don't like this one so much. I don't think I have this one. Do I have this one? This is the one you had, right? Yeah, I don't. Oh no, this. Oh yeah.
No,
okay.
man, I
Yeah, okay.
thought
I
you-
do. I don't like this one so much.
I'm gonna tell you, I thought Enosh was a new female employee when he showed me that picture, and I thought he was messing with him on that.
1.5.
That's what I thought.
Micah literally asked me today if this was a real person
I
because he
did.
was worried because he was joking
Right.
about it and because he thought it was me, but then he was like, "Wait a second, did I just
Yeah.
like actually make a negative comment about a real person?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he sends the picture, and you know the whole Jake from State Farm commercial where it's like she's a guy. So I texted that. I was like, well, she's a guy. So
Right.
Yeah.
and then I'm thinking about it later that night, and I'm like, oh my gosh, if that was a real person. So I had to go clarify to him, and I was like, please tell me that was you.
He didn't tell me. He didn't tell you this. He said, "But if that was a real person, I would actually go crazy." That's what he told me.
Nah, he lying, bro.
That's what he said.
Now he lying.
He was,
So I'll be honest. I don't like this angle.
Okay.
This is the angle that I don't care for.
Right.
Now, this one, I'm gonna be honest.
1.5.
That's just being a hater right there.
That's being genuine, to my opinion.
Look, man, he got a weight limit.
He ain't
dog.
got no.
Real talk.
You're right.
Any woman that's got some kind of meat or something, Micah.
I like a curvy woman, man, and
No,
I'm just saying.
I do too.
This,
I do
I don't
too.
know if this is like I don't know if this is like a funny bit or if this is like the most sexist thing that we could possibly do. I don't know
too
at
late
this
now.
point. I mean,
Well,
I
hold
don't
on.
know.
It is ourselves. It's ourselves.
It's ourselves.
It's not like we're
criticizing ourselves.
Yes.
like in our defense.
I think I look beautiful. Look at my lips
I love
look
I
at
love
my
that you
lips.
support yourself. I love that you
and my
support yourself.
eyes and my eyebrows are on point. And look at that hair that it gave me.
Hey, bro.
Yeah.
From my point of view, you look friendly, bro.
Yeah. Can I say this though?
Okay, there's this
That
one.
one's way better. That one's way better than me.
That's a little bit more hard. Like when you come to your features, I mean.
Yeah. This one's
You know
not
what
as
I'm saying?
soft on the
Yeah,
features for me.
yeah.
1.5. Can I just say something real quick to clarify?
This is very funny, dog.
This is the first
I
time
think there though again.
No.
Again, I look
you're
pretty
obsessed with yourself right now.
Well, let me take a look.
Obsessed with yourself?
No, he is.
It looked like he passed some gas and he want nobody to know. He's like, he looks sneaky on that joint.
Y'all just jealous.
Don't be bad.
All right.
Just jealous because you couldn't get a woman
You-
like
you
me.
couldn't-
This one's a little rough. I'll be honest with you. This one looks like I was out partying all night, like I'm a party girl, and I don't know.
How many drinks did you have?
I don't know, man. It was like it was a couple over the line. I'll tell you that right now.
I can tell.
Yeah,
I had to go to work. My kids need me.
but okay. But then we go back to Micah, and I look great compared to Micah.
I'm
So-
ugly, bro.
Yes, you are.
Ugly.
Yes, you are.
Can I just say this, like, just to be serious and just to clarify for a second, that we have never ever sat around rating women before. Like, this is a
No,
joke. It's
no.
ourselves.
This is us rating ourselves. Yes.
Exactly.
Look, he came
so-
back to Michael real quick.
Well,
He's like,
well,
let me break it down.
Because I didn't. Because, like, think about it. Like,
You
out of
do
context,
not-
this looks kind of bad.
Dog.
It looks really sexist.
Dog.
Yes, I'm ugly.
I ain't saying.
Look at that jawline. Look at
no,
the
Mr.
jawline.
Demps, I'm
It's
ugly,
just-
bro.
It doesn't look real.
No.
Look at the jaw.
It's almost like it's not.
I know it's almost like it's an AI or something. But
It's
then,
almost like it's a
but
free
then you
AI
go back
on
to Omarion. Omarion's like
That literally just looks like a Marion with a wig and makeup.
yeah.
least my
Omarion looks like a
makeup's
not even-
newscaster.
It's not even.
Marion looks like a newscaster. Coming up tonight on the evening news.
ABC 12.
At least my at least my makeup looks good though.
Yeah, so that's it. That's all we
Hold
got.
on, hold
That's
on,
all.
hold on, real quick.
Yes.
What's you guys' opinions on, like, in real life, How important is makeup for females, to be honest? Because I think females put way too much emphasis on it. Cause
Mike,
guys,
you're about to cross the line.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
Yep.
I don't think you want to go.
Yeah. I don't
Really?
think yes.
This is why Micah is single.
among other things.
Okay, I'm gonna add a little something to it though. But
Yeah.
like some women, I think they overcompensate when it comes to makeup because they're trying to hide something. They don't really realize their true beauty. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of women that do that, and there's a lot of women that mess up, you know, with their natural looks because they are sitting over there playing Crayola on their face. You know what I'm saying? So
Females, you are beautiful
that's my take
as
on
you
it.
are.
Yes, yes.
I think
From all
I
of
think
man.
you know I think it depends. I think it depends. I think that there are some people who have a natural beauty, right? And but you know what? If a woman wants to put makeup on, and that makes her feel better, or she just enjoys that,
Right.
I think she should be able to do it. It's not my business to do it. To tell her what to do.
Right.
Now, I think it's like anything, right? I know women who would sit around and be like, okay, well, what do you think of guys? Like, with this haircut or
Yeah.
with this or whatever, right? We all have preferences, right? Like one of the things about my wife that stood out to me when we were first talking or whatever was the fact that she had beautiful eyes, right? And she would do this thing. She still does it, and I love it because she wears like a purple eyeshadow, but it's like smoky, kind of like some grays and stuff like that.
Yes, sir.
And it just makes her eyes pop. And like when we would sit and talk, just sitting on the couch, whatever, for hours, like her eyes just mesmerized me, right? And but she's the type of person, she loves to wear makeup. But she looks good.
Right.
And yeah, I think she looks beautiful when she doesn't have makeup, but it's just a different look. It's not that like, oh, you better wear makeup or anything like that.
Right.
It's just that, it's the same thing as like, hey, I like this dress, or I like, or like when she tells me that she likes an outfit that I wear or something that I do. It's like when you're in a relationship for a while, I think you're right. I think people do put too much emphasis on
other people think.
on what other people think, and this physicality or whatever. But I think also I think we're all lying. I think society is lying if we go, well, we don't have preferences,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we do.
right? I mean, both men and women, we both have preferences. I know that's not probably the PC thing to say,
Yup.
right? But if we're being honest, we all have preferences. There's guys who like a certain look, and I mean, just like we're all here looking at each other, we're making fun of each other because we look ridiculous as women. I mean, let's be honest, right? There's a reason.
Except me.
Yeah, except and Demps, I'll tell you right now. But
I didn't like
But-
that confidence he said.
but seriously,
Okay,
but I
yeah,
mean,
I got
like, I'm just saying, I think we've gotten into this mode of like we're not honest because we want to act like something that isn't that is.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a reason why the cosmetics industry is a multi-billion-dollar thing, and it's not just because it's preying on people's insecurities. I think there are some of those things, right? There's definitely some of those things.
Because some things accentuate beauty. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, and it's
There's some women who wear makeup that just like I've seen some beautiful women who wear just a little bit because, like you said, it just does
And
that.
some women, I do know, they get together and just make each other up for fun. Like,
Yup.
like they'll say, we're going to get together, we're going to go out, we're going to get made up. Yay! Like my wife went out like 2 weeks ago, and then her
You gotta get close to that mic, man.
I said my wife went out like a couple of weeks ago, and her friends, they just got all made up. Yay! You know what I'm saying? And they enjoy it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It's kind of like an activity. You know what I mean? So, I mean, it's to each is his own. You know?
Yep.
Yeah, if you enjoy it, you enjoy it. But yeah, I mean that's not our topic tonight. But
No, I mean-
but there you go. For everybody watching the video, you can make fun of us and tell us who you think is the most beautiful.
Yes.
I was just curious.
But no,
So-
it's all just in fun. It's
Are
all
we
just
going to
in
have
fun.
percentages and voting?
Yes,
We have a number to
Put-
call.
Put a
Who
poll on
is
Instagram.
who is the beautiful guy?
Yeah, but
So speaking of
funny.
what we are talking about tonight,
Yes.
I know something that Mr. Demps you're super passionate about is mental health.
Yes.
And I think that's something that as the world, like as we've gone along, certainly from what I've noticed as I've grown up, is the world has become more okay and accepting of talking about issues of mental health,
Yes, sir.
right? And I don't know what you guys' experiences are with mental health, but I know it's something I've struggled with on and off in my life. And so that's kind of what I think, at least you and me wanted to talk about tonight, was was mental health. And so, Mr. Demps, if you want to start us off, actually, what does mental health mean to you?
Man, that's such a broad question, but I think it encompasses a lot of different things. You know, when people think about what they're going through, their mind state, your mind state dictates, you know, how you live and the experiences you have and how you perceive things. I think having good mental health is having a good understanding of your strengths and weaknesses, okay, and not being afraid to address things when they may not be, you know, it may not be the best of times. Like, I can use this for an example. I use myself. Like, I have anxiety, and a lot of people are like real freaked out and scared, especially when you talk about men. You know what I'm saying? As men, we're taught you deal with things internally, you handle business, you do what it is you have to do. So a lot of times people tend to suppress things they're dealing with, and then that brings on the health issues, it brings on insecurities because you get to question yourself and you're afraid to take it out there to the public. And I think that's why it's important for men to have a more proactive attitude when it comes to mental health, because there's so many guys I know that are dying inside because they feel like it's a weakness to show that they are having an issue. But the way I always look at it is when God designed us, he designed us with emotions. He designed us with the ability to cry. He designed us with, you know, all types of different abilities. So we have to open to the fact that as men, we have issues and we don't need to be ridiculed. But the thing is, we have to find a safe space as men. And I think we really have to depend on each other in this type of things, because women aren't going to understand stress and things that men deal with from our perspective. So that's my take on it. I don't know if I answered your question.
Yeah, and I think one of the things that I picked up on that you didn't like call out with words, but that you talked about was basically like vulnerability. I think is looked at as a weakness among a lot of men, when the truth is like that's actually how we can improve. Is be vulnerable with each other, because I think the definition for vulnerable basically means to open yourself up for the potential of wound, right? And so when you're talking about something like this, obviously there's the chance that you feel like people would use that against you. But if we're not vulnerable with our experiences, then how are we going to be able to get it out? You know what I mean?
And I think it's important to gain a sense of strength within yourself. I think it's important to gain a sense within yourself to say, hey, I have this problem. Skip if they don't like it. Skip if they talk about me. I need some help, because when you're sick, you know what I'm saying? A lot of men don't go to the doctor when they're sick, but if your heart's cramping and you about to have a heart attack, or you know what I'm saying, you have a cold or something, you don't think twice to go get treatment. But mental health, most men, they will suppress it. And I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna go one step further. As a black man, you know what I'm saying, it's looked down. It's really looked down upon. You punking out. You doing this.
Yep.
It's a little bit more acceptable in other. How can I put it? With other cultures, other races, but black men, we are slammed. Like, and a lot of times, you know, ladies looking at us like you punking out, you this and that. So you sitting there trying to live a lie when you're struggling, trying to make sure everybody else is okay, but you're not looking in the mirror and making sure you're okay. And at the end of the day, if you don't treat it, if you don't address it, then you'll be the dead one, because that's what it does. It kills people. You know what I'm saying? And people will be moving on, all because you weren't strong enough or you didn't feel safe enough to address whatever issue you had. You know what I'm saying? It's real deep, man.
Yeah. Enosh, I'm curious, from your perspective as a pastor, which is a position that I feel like
He said he called me.
because I feel like, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like there's this huge misconception in the Christian world of like, oh, I got to pretend like I'm great and life is great because I'm the pastor and I'm leading this church and whatever.
Well, yeah.
So how important, from your perspective, is being vulnerable from your position?
Well, so mental health is something that for my family, at least, this was an ongoing conversation, because my mom, I mean, I was raised by my grandma because my mom was diagnosed paranoid schizophrenic, manic depressive.
Wow.
She was addicted to many different types of drugs, alcohol. You run the gambit, right? And so, you know, I grew up with a little bit of a different mindset about it. Was just, hey, look, if you got a problem, get it taken care of, right? Because my mom frustrated me so much growing up that she would go through these periods of time where she would do better for a while, right? Because, she'd be on the correct medication or whatever, and take responsibility. And then she'd get off of that and it would be something else, right? And so, but as an adult, I know in just this last year, like this has probably been, I've gone through 2 periods in my life where it's been very stressful. One was a little over 10 years ago because I went through a divorce, and it's the only time I ever had a panic attack in my life. And I had that at a time where I didn't know what my future was going to hold because I worked in church ministry, and it was a divorce that I could see coming that I didn't want, but I couldn't do anything about. And so I felt absolutely powerless in everything that was going on. And not only that, but on top of that, I never knew what people were thinking of me. So I was constantly worried about that. I was constantly worried about, well, what this person here or that person here. I never knew where I was going to meet somebody, like with that whole situation, because there's a whole other story that goes beyond that. And I had a church board that was constantly pulling me in the back room and asking me all these questions, putting me through stuff because of the nonsense that was going on with my divorce. And I was constantly having to answer for stuff that either I didn't do or was taken out of context or whatever, or being held to something like that because I was a man, I was supposed to somehow like be the man of my house and control my house, and I'm supposed to, save this marriage, like I can just like men could, like man or woman could do that just on their own. If I learned anything to my divorce, it's that you can't control somebody else. Even if the 2 flesh become one, you still have your own brain, and you still have your own heart in a lot of ways. And so that's, once somebody decides that they don't want to be there anymore, you can try with all your heart, but it's not a given, and I think sometimes, especially in church settings, we put out all these books, right? We put out seminars. We tell you, go to the marriage seminar, right? And this will fix your marriage, or watch this good Christian movie that's going to tell you how to win your your mate back, and make sure when you go
fireproof,
right? Yeah, I went to that. But I mean, seriously. And look, if somebody loves that, that's fine. But I'm just saying, it's just go to the movie. Oh, and then buy the Bible, the special Bible that goes along with it, and the Bible study
The 40-day prayer journal.
and it's like, I'm sorry, that actually it frustrated me more because none of that was solving my issue. And then I had people try to hold me responsible, which I get as a pastor. I needed to be held responsible if certain things were happening, but they weren't. And so it was like, and I'll never forget, I got the call. I was at work. My regular job, because I was bivocational, and I got the call because the church just didn't want to deal with it anymore.
Wow.
And they called and told me, they said, hey, we're done, and we're going to need you to turn in your resignation. Wow. And I remember I almost passed out. I mean, I felt so overwhelmed. I went out back behind where I worked, and I just sat there up against this brick wall, and I felt like my life was just falling apart, and it took somebody in that church to one of our elders of the church finally said, because something clicked, and they said, well, hold on. Yeah, we need to hold our leadership responsible, right? We need to hold our leadership to certain values, but at the same time, Enosh is also a brother in Christ. And if Enosh is telling us what's going on and he's hurting and he's going through this stuff, we're actually doing him more harm than we are good. And that was the first time that something started to change and people started looking at me in a different way. So that was then, but honestly, man, I had a breakdown,
Yeah.
you know. And then this last year with the loss of my grandmother and taking over the church and just everything, it got to a point where I felt so overwhelmed. You know, and it snuck up on me because I've always been very strong. I've always been, you know, and that's not to toot my own horn, but I've always been the type of person. Yeah, it is. And I've always been the type of person like, hey, if we got to score, give me the ball.
Yeah.
Right? I want to be the guy with the ball because I know my capabilities and I want to be that guy. But sometimes you can't be that guy.
Yeah.
I think one thing that's very important anytime you're dealing with someone who has mental health issues, whether it's anxiety, depression, or stress, or something more serious, is the person who has it has to understand the weight that comes with it for the ones who surround them. Okay, because I know a lot of people, and I can speak personally from my own personal experience, going through different things with anxiety. You're like, I want you to understand me, please. Why are you acting like this? Some people don't have the capacity to be able to assist you in those times. So you have to understand your battle, but you have to understand those that are around you battle. So that's where your relationship with God comes in too. Okay?
Yes.
So when you're taking time to take things to God, laying it at the altar, whatever you're going to do, you have to genuinely examine yourself. You know what I'm saying? And be specific with what it is you need to help bring you out of it. It's something that never goes away totally,
Yeah.
but you have to be able to deal with it efficiently, because if you don't, it's not life.
No.
You're existing. And when you're existing, that's what makes people do crazy things that they can't come back from.
And you got to be honest with the people around you too.
You do.
I was brutally honest with my family just a few months ago, and I called them all in and I said, "Listen, y'all need to realize this is where I'm at, right? Because even my son, him and I, we had to have this come to Jesus moment because he just felt like he was just testing me. It was like the normal stuff, right? Like, oh, that's dad, whatever. Dad doesn't know this, dad doesn't know that. And I finally told him, I said, listen, I said, if you don't care about, and I don't want to paint this because my son is a great kid.
Right.
And my son, it's not like my son's involved in anything, but he's not supposed to be. We were getting in arguments over things like he's a drummer and he wanted to get this drum throne that was like a 21 Pilots drum throne because he loves 21 Pilots. And I think that's great, right? But he's 17 and he wants to start a band. And I remember when I started my first band as a musician, because I'm a musician,
Right.
and I was trying to explain to him the difference between buying a quality piece of equipment, like a drum throne, that was going to last him to gig with, right? And the difference between buying something like that and buying a 21 Pilots drum throne that would be cool for him to have in his room or when he's playing drums at home, but nobody cares about that when he's, gigging somewhere or whatever, and it's probably not going to last the same. And he looked at me, and I think one of my cracking moments with him, he looked at me and he's like, well, Dad, you don't know. This isn't a guitar thing. This is, and I looked at him and I said, son, I've been doing this. I've been in this sphere of stuff for almost 40 years. I recorded my first album when I was 12. I used to sing and stuff. Started my first band when I was 17. I'm 46 now. So I've been in music for a long time. I've been around musicians. I said, I need you to stop telling me that I don't know stuff.
Right.
When it's obvious that I have. And I was brutally honest with him. I said, which one of us played with a Grammy Award winner here? Oh, stop right there, because it was me.
Right.
I'm not telling you this because I don't like your 21 Pilots drum throne.
Right.
I'm telling you because you're a kid and you're spending your hard-earned money that you just spent all summer working for. And I know that if you buy this thing and beating it up and everything, it's not going to work for you the way that you want it to. He's like, well, I did my research. And I'm like, well, I've been living for a lot longer.
Yeah.
And I realized, you know what? Part of it was I'm at that age now.
Yeah.
Where it's just I've accumulated some knowledge now, and I was frustrated. And so was it him that pushed me over the edge? No. It wasn't him.
You're just
It
trying to
wa-
be a good dad in that
I'm
moment.
trying to be a good dad in that moment. But the thing is that I got all the weight of everything else coming at me, and I got too many things. And I think that this is sometimes that we get as men. we get too many things coming at us at once.
Mm-hmm.
And we're trying to deflect everything. We're either trying to catch the ball, deflect the ball, do everything, play offense, defense, be a good husband, be a good dad, be a good role model, be a good employee, do all these different things, wear all these different hats. And it's not just men. I mean, it's women too. Women
Yeah.
wear tons of different hats too. We're men here, right? And so that's
Our
what
room
I
for
found.
error is smaller.
What's that?
Yeah.
Our room for error is smaller, or
Right.
our room for understanding
Right.
is smaller just because of our sex.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So
I don't know why your mic is less than all of ours.
It is?
Yeah, so you got to like
Okay.
like where I was telling him not to eat the mic.
Right.
You got to eat
I
that
gotta
mic.
eat the
for some
mic.
reason. I don't
Okay.
know why. I don't
All
know
right.
why.
You know, it's
But-
so weird.
but-
We should have switched.
But seriously, like I felt that, and so for my own mental health, I had to be honest with my whole family, and I had to just say, I need your support.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Like I've never needed it before.
Right.
I've undertaken something that is not just me.
Yes, sir.
I got to have you.
Right.
Yeah.
And I got to have everybody support me in this. And I can't have you fighting me on stuff. I need you to trust me
Right.
and hold my hand and uphold me. And actually, it kind of goes back to the story of Moses, right? Where when they were fighting the battle and
He needed help holding his arms up.
holding his arms up,
Yes, sir.
right? And so the thing, when his arms were let down, Israel lost. They were losing, right? But when his arms were held up, they won. And I think that's I think that's a great metaphor actually for
Yeah.
our mental health.
Right.
Is that sometimes you can't do it all alone. You can't hold your own hands up. You can't just hold it all together. And you need somebody else to come by and say, you know what? I love you, and because of that, I'm gonna help hold your hands.
Yeah.
up.
So I got two things that come to mind for me now.
ahead.
So I think it's obvious when talking about this that being in a healthy, authentic, loving community
Yes.
is really, really important when dealing with mental health. Like for me, it's my church family.
Right.
You know, for you were talking about your family, but I think like all of us, as we're dealing with mental health, you can't do it on your own, and so
No.
you need community that you can be yourself around and be honest and open with, right?
Yeah.
Right.
And what's the other thing? It just escaped my mind. Dang it. Oh, do you think, because you were describing that we can't do it on our own, which I agree with, you know.
Right.
So do you think that we're meant to carry it all on our own?
No.
Nope.
No. I think that's the example that Jesus gave us.
Yeah.
Like through dying on the cross is that we can't do it on our own. There's nothing else in which we can do on our own.
Yeah.
Right.
You know. Marion, I'm interested to hear from you, man.
Yes,
like,
sir.
Like your perspective.
What's your take on this? And Marion, I wanna urge you to have transparency. This is the playing field.
Vulnerability.
Yes.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Gift us with your vulnerability,
gonna
as
be-
Tim Ross says.
It's gonna be a little different for him, but go ahead.
Not gonna lie, I'm just gonna piggyback off of what Mr. Dem said. Growing up as a black male, it was difficult, like for mental health, and it's so important nowadays that in the position that we are all in, that have the knowledge that we have. Because while I was growing up, I didn't get that because I was taught you're a male, suck it up, and also you're black, don't wear your heart on your sleeve, don't let people know the pain that you're going through. And that's so difficult because of like me being abused growing up, or me like physically and mentally. It really like tore me up, had me angry, and had me take it out on everyone else around me, which I couldn't explain why I was so mad. So, and the only way I could express myself was me either cutting or crying at like by myself just at home alone, because I wasn't supposed to express myself. And it's crazy to be like that, because you would think you only get it from the males. No, you'll get it from the females too.
Oh
Of,
yeah.
why are you so soft? Why are you like like something's wrong with you for expressing yourself and your feelings on the matter? That hey, I'm hurting, I'm broken as well. I've went through stuff as well,
Right.
and I'm just human. Like, it's weird that you know you're human and we're all the same, but people try to put you at a higher standard as like, no, you're not allowed to. Like Enosh as a pastor, or like of us as administrators, or like just like people that are supposed to help the younger generation, like
Right.
we're not supposed to have feelings.
Mm-hmm.
Like earlier this week on how tore up everyone was, like we weren't allowed to really have our emotion this week
Uh-huh.
because we're
At school. You
Yeah.
know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
yeah, we're not allowed to like, and it was hard because so many kids would ask, "Hey, are you okay? Are you okay? What's wrong? What's wrong?" Like, I can't express myself of why I'm hurt because I'm here to help you,
Yeah.
and that's how I felt my whole life.
And that's a violation to anybody as a human being. You just think about it, because if you're suppressing all of these things, essentially what you're doing, man, you breaking one of the 10 Commandments, man. You lying to yourself, bro.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You have to have it somewhere. You know what I'm saying? For some people, they don't get it in their home. Like you said, you have to go to the church home, or you have to go somewhere. But the key is making sure you have an outlet, because keeping it inside, especially when you're surrounded by people who have no idea how to deal with it, it can be a very lonely, miserable situation. And then what it does is it takes away all of your productivity, man. You know what I'm saying? How can you focus on helping someone else if you're rotting inside? That's why they tell people, if you're going to get married, make sure you're right. You know what I'm saying? You
Yeah.
gonna date, make sure you're right.
Yeah.
Before you get to helping other people, you got to make sure you're right. And then sometimes you're doing it simultaneously. You're helping others while you're helping yourself. You know what I'm saying? But, hey, man.
You know what's come to my mind now, talking about this is, have you all heard the I'm going to call it the American Westernized Christianese saying, God won't give you more than you can handle?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it won't
that-
give you much
yeah.
more than you can bear. Yeah.
But that's not in the Bible.
Yeah. No, I haven't read it, but I'm
He
thinking.
does. He does. There's a scripture that alludes to the fact that God will. It's similar to that, but we get it off. And
Yeah, but
we make it about
Yeah,
us.
I think in our culture, we, with good, well-intended hearts, have twisted it basically to make us put on a strong face. Like, oh, you can do it.
Yeah.
Because God's not going to give you more than you can handle. But what about if we're not supposed to be totally dependent on ourselves, if we are really designed to lean on God as our Heavenly Father,
Yes.
I think going with that thinking, it's more likely to me that He would, in fact, give us more than we can handle to force us to lean on Him as our Heavenly Father.
Dude, that's so true, man, because a lot of times people think of adversity as evil, but adversity equals growth.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Now, everybody doesn't handle adversity the same way, but it's important that you know, usually behind struggle is growth, and it is necessary, you know, because if everything's taken care of for you, you think about like parents who just coddle their kids. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you need this, you need that, you need that. They just keep giving it to them. When they get out there, and for whatever reason, whether a parent passes away or they may not have the resources they had, that kid is stuck. Like, I know so many people who don't know how to pay a bill, you know what I'm saying, don't know how to balance a budget, don't know how to even parent, because they feel you just give it to them, and hey, you know, you got to be able to experience life, man, for yourself. You know what I mean? It's deep, man. This is a great topic.
Yeah.
No, I think that's a great point. Is that, you know, in the struggle, that's where we grow,
Yes.
right? That's what really takes us to the next level. And you know, you hear people will joke and say, "Well, don't pray for patience, right? Because God will give it to you." Well,
Right.
that's the point. Is we need that.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of these things. You know, everything in our life at some point was a challenge,
Yes, sir.
right? You come into this world, you
Doing
you don't know how to do anything. You can't walk, you can't talk, you can't, you know, like we work with kids, right? And sometimes I'm in a classroom and a kid goes, "This is too hard, I don't want to do it," you know, and stuff. And you're like, no, that's the point, right? You know, like I was talking to a kid and we were talking about like English, and the kid was talking about, you know, like I said, "Well, what do you like to do?" "Well, I like to play video games." "Well, guess what? You got to read some stuff in video games, don't you?"
Right.
So if you never learn to read, you're not always going to get to enjoy the things that you want to enjoy. You put in some time for the adversity, but that opens up a whole world of joy. And joy and happiness are two different things.
Yeah.
Right.
Right. You
Happiness
can be happy.
can be taken away.
Yeah.
Joy is-
Happiness lasts. Whatever. But joy, you can have joy even in the adversity.
Joy is happiness despite the circumstances.
Yes, sir.
I feel like. So, all four of us at different points in our life have struggled with mental health. So, for you, and I think all of us to answer is, how did you deal with your mental health struggle when it came up, or are you still dealing with it, and how?
Well, I'll take the lead on this one. I still struggle with it. You know what I'm saying? Daily. Anxiety is a crazy thing, man. And it's so crazy because it takes different forms. Okay. Like I can go in front of thousands of people because I'm a singer. I've sung all over the country. You know what I'm saying? And I won't be bothered. But let me get a pain here in my stomach or something. Oh my God, is this stomach cancer? You understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like medical anxiety. You know what I'm saying? And like it'd be people who are like in my life, close people. It could be friends, family, spouse, whatever. Why are you doing this? Can't you see this is a pattern? Like, I see it, but when it's there, it's feeling real to me right now. You understand what I'm saying?
Sure, yeah.
And it took me a while to even be able to open up and talk about this type of stuff because, like Omarion said, in the black community, it's a no-go. You don't do it. But then it was something that God gave to me. It was like, hey, man, share your story. Open up with people. Let people know what's going on because there's somebody who's struggling with the same thing that you're struggling with right now.
Yeah.
And they think they're all alone. You see what I'm saying? But the best way I can say that I deal with it is a lot of prayer, and I had to get therapy, and I kind of have to talk myself through these moments if I'm having it. You know what I'm saying? You guys were teasing me earlier about when I'm in the room sometime, when I'm at work. Sometimes I'm sitting there.
Just taking a break, and we can't find you.
And
when
the
we're doing
crazy
stuff.
thing, the crazy thing about it is, people when they think of me as this cool, chill. I am that guy. That's part of me too. But it's sometimes
I am cool and chill, but I don't want to put any rumors out there that I ain't cool and chill.
LL Cool BMFD.
I am, but sometimes I'm just panting. You'll never know. I'm like, hey man,
Yeah.
stop. So
I think too, though. I mean, like, I think part of it is being a guy in general because I know, like, even as a white guy, right? Like, I grew up without my dad, right? So I always had an insecurity about a lot of different things, right?
Yeah.
I was very insecure about a lot, as far as like what it meant to be a man, right? Like, especially as I got older and other guys were like, oh, what, you can't work on a car, right? You don't know this, you don't know that, right? And it's like, well, no. Like, I mean, I still struggle with that sometimes. Like, what, you can't just build something? You can't, what, you never used a saw before? Like, you look at this room around you, like all this paneling and stuff that got put up. Like, I helped do that this last year, and I used a circular saw for the first time in my life.
And it looks great.
Because
by the
I
way.
just never had an opportunity to do it, right? But
Right.
like when somebody showed me,
Right.
I was able to do it. And there's a lot of that even as a white guy that it's like you're told, you better not cry. You better not show weakness.
Right.
You better not show this or that because you're not a man, right? And that's where you get these dude bros, right? That they drive around and act like they're the toughest, roughest things, right? And they put up this persona like they're so
Macho
tough.
man.
Yeah, like they're so tough, and it's a facade.
It's real weird you said that because what's really crazy is when you think about like what a man is supposed to do. I was kind of like the same way. I had to learn certain things when I got out because I had both parents in my household, but my father wasn't a blue collar guy. He was a white collar guy. So the things he taught me was how to bring people together, how to balance budgets, how to you know what I'm saying. I know that type of stuff, but some of that other stuff, I'm quick to call somebody to help me fix this or
Right.
learn because it wasn't because my father wasn't trying to do it. That just wasn't his thing. You know what I'm saying? Or we had uncles and cousins. Just like and on the flip side, I got cousins who are blue collar guys and stuff, and they like, hey man, my son or my daughter, they need help on their homework. Come on.
Right.
That's where I come in. You see what I'm
Right.
saying? And then I think a lot of times as men, what we do is if we don't fit the box or we don't check all of the man boxes, we get to being hard on ourselves. But God blesses different people in different ways. It's a reason you have a plumber. It's a reason you have a teacher.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's a reason you
My
have
first
politicians.
my first father-in-law just did not like me because I went to work every day and wore a tie. I wore a shirt and tie,
Wow.
and I wasn't a man enough because I didn't work with my hands. I wasn't in construction, or I didn't work in a shop, or I didn't do something like that. And it was like, so I with that, you know. But for me, yes, like how I know we're like right now at the hour mark, but
Yeah.
but for me, the way that I've kind of overcome it has really just been experience. It's been being honest,
Yes.
a lot of prayer,
Yes, sir.
a lot of realizing that I'm not perfect, you know, not being ashamed to go to counseling, not being ashamed to talk to somebody,
Right.
you know, and admit, hey, you know what, this is where my faults are, you know. And look, you're always going to run across people who say, oh, you just think you're this or whatever, you know. You know, you think you're better or whatever, you know, because look, there's times you got to rise above.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
so we're saying all this, right?
Right.
But there is a time where you got to suck it up.
Yeah,
because you
do.
can't just sit around like a blubbering
No.
mess all the time and just
Yeah.
go, well, life sucks, man.
You gotta find a way.
I can't do it. You got to get up in the morning. You got to go to work,
Right.
right? Like when we're in situations like at the school and everything's
Right.
going to hell in a handbasket, and we're
Today.
like somebody's got to run up there and
Yeah.
somebody does have to carry the ball
Yeah.
into the end zone, right? So it's not an excuse to just duck and hide your head under the covers,
Absolutely.
you know, and stuff like that. But a healthy balance
Right.
Yeah.
of recovery, you know, like you're gonna take those hits. You know, I don't want to use a football analogy because I think it's like such a guy thing to do, you know.
Soccer, yeah.
But it is, right? Because football is very much like a battle. Right, and so like you're gonna get hit hard, you're gonna get put on the ground, you're gonna get face planted, you're gonna get stepped on, kicked on, you know, all those things. And then you got to go sit in a nice cold bath for a while sometimes because you are in pain,
Yeah.
you know, and you got to recover and then come back and do it again the next week.
And this is one thing. This is another thing that when you just were talking about, you know, your stepdad, I believe you said. Oh,
My father-in-law.
Oh, your father-in-law.
Yeah.
So
My first father-in-law.
Your first
But
father-in-law.
yeah,
not- but people are what experiences they have. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying?
Yeah.
We were
Yes.
just talking about that. Like sometimes people think they're doing you a favor. You know what I'm saying? In some cases they can be doing you a favor, but like they're just telling you what they were taught. And that's what I think we all forget too. We're products of our environment. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
And some people don't have the knowledge to say, well, hey, it's a different type of man, you know, because you still need your accountant.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You still need people who have different types of skills. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? A man is a very broad spectrum. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It
I agree.
encompasses a lot of things. So
I agree.
I've heard it said that it's okay to not be okay, but it's not okay to stay there.
yes, sir.
Don't move in.
Yes,
Don't
sir.
move in.
Yes,
don't
sir.
don't unpack your bags there.
Yes.
Yeah.
sir.
Omarion, how do you deal with
Yes.
those things?
Or are you
First
still
things
not?
first. I still go through it every day.
Yeah.
Or some days good, some days not. But the ways I deal with it is I stay quiet and I keep to myself. And it's funny when people notice it or think of me different because I do. Like most of the kids would be like, "Oh, Mr. Martin, oh, you're so nice," or like Micah's so mean and you're just so chill. Why can't Micah be just like you?
I'm a
But-
Look, you
butthole.
look so good in that AI as a woman, but Micah looks so bad.
You should have no stress. Looking like that now.
So you bottle it up, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then that's why like it'd be weird because when I look at them and I'm like, well, no, I said not gonna lie. I was like, even though that sounds bad, but like I feel like I have more rage than Micah because I mean I've never seen it, but I was just like,
Right.
no, I just let Micah do it because Micah can. I feel like Micah can handle it better than me.
Ooh, and that is great. The fact that you
Are aware of that.
are aware of that. You see what I'm saying? The problem with people have issues like that is when they're unaware of what they struggle with. You know what I'm saying? And this is a great conversation, man. This is great. This
I
is
know.
great.
I know. For me, like what I've leaned on, because like I started following Jesus in June of 2020, so it's been about 2.5 years now. Before Jesus, I struggled with depression so bad. I didn't get to the point that I was suicidal, but I did get to the point for several months that I didn't care if I was alive anymore.
Wow.
So again, not suicidal, but there was no meaning, there was no hope for me to strive for. Because at the end of the day, like, I feel like hope is what gives every human reason to keep going. You're always
Yes, sir.
hoping for something better, right?
Yes, sir.
Oh yeah.
But when I started following Jesus, that immediately gave me hope, because the basis of the faith of following Jesus, of Christianity, is that Jesus saves. That, you know, no matter what happens in this life, at the end of the day, like, we're going to be with God forever in heaven, worshiping and praising him and being with the one that created us. So that immediately became my hope. So literally, I was cured of depression like instantly. Praise God for that.
Amen. Amen.
Since then, I've struggled with anxiety so bad on and off. Like, it's come in different seasons. There's been 3 or 4 times where I've struggled with just crippling. It's always short seasons, like a week or 2.
Yeah.
But it's been crippling every single time it comes. And I've sat in your office and bawled my eyes out because I didn't know what.
It's funny. Like I always tell him, like, man, look, I see it. That's why it's important. And God will put different people in your corner that can, you know, understand what you're going through. I can look at him the days he's doing that. You too. I can see it. I know it. You know what I'm saying? Because I've been there, you know. And then, you know, God gives you a certain type of discernment, man. And I just want to take the time to praise him, man, and thank him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? For having a circle that's as diverse, and we can actually have a conversation like this.
And we love
Think
each
about-
other.
For sure.
We can make fun of
Yeah.
each other and praise each
Oh,
other at the same time.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But it's real. Yeah.
And that's really the great thing as we bring this episode to a close. That's the
Yep.
great thing, guys, about this podcast. It's 4 guys coming together, right? But it's different backgrounds, right? Different ethnic backgrounds,
Yes, sir.
different age groups. But you know what? We all have a common goal,
Yep.
and we understand that.
Yes, sir.
Right, and we accept each other, and we accept each other's differences. We accept each other's, you know, similarities, and we accept each other's faults.
Yep.
You know, and so we're not always going to get it right. You know, and sometimes you guys are going to hear something on the podcast, you know, that you're going to go, I don't know about these guys. You know, these
Or
these
girls.
yeah, or girls. They got way too much time on their hand, and you know, and everything else. You know, but you know,
Still
that's the
traumatized
thing.
that I'm supposed to be a hot chick. No.
Yeah, well, you know, it is.
Well,
what
I'm
it
not
is.
a hot dude or chick.
But yeah, imagine being in his shoes, right? We could do a whole episode on that.
Imagine being in my shoes.
A whole episode of that. But
Single girl hit me up.
No, that's the last thing you need as a female.
Exactly.
This is the last thing I'll say is
yes.
mental health is just health.
Yes.
Well, I just want to tell everybody thank you for either watching today or listening. It is always good to have people on here. Don't forget that you can find the Black and White and Red All Over podcast here on Poindexter Lounge, the video version. Or you can also find the audio version wherever your podcasts, wherever you listen to podcasts. And that's probably how you're listening to it right now, which is sound kind of redundant, but we got to say those things. Also, if you'd like to support the podcast right now, we have to still set up the podcast for all different cool things, ways that you can support it. But you know what? All the links to the description at the Poindexter Lounge are there. And if you just put a little note that your donation or whatever goes to Black and White and Red All Over podcast, we'll make sure that it goes to the proper place, and we can get things like cool, good microphones and stuff, so we can hear Mr. Demps.
Yeah.
And Omarion is not so very loud.
Destroy it.
Sorry, so much rage.
All right, guys. Until
saw
next
that.
time.
Maybe if you wouldn't bottle it up.
Right. Stop bottling up that rage. All right, guys. Until next time, I'm Enosh
I'm a Marion.
Micah.
And Napoleon.
saying, hey,
Deuces.
Call me.
No.
Black, white, and red all over.
red all over. We'll see you guys next time.
Oh.